All right, guys, welcome back to the KG Flow. Oh yeah. This week I have my first female guest here. It's an honor having you here, Jamie Lynch. What's up, Jamie?
What's up, everyone?
So yeah, Jamie, give us just like an overall background, like where you're from, what do you do?
Okay, so I am from the Jersey Shore. I met Kenny when we were in school. Don't shake your head at me, boy.
We don't call it the
Um,
Jersey Shore, it's called the beach.
okay, out the outside world calls us the Jersey Shore. So, is
Mhm.
this your intro or is it my intro, sir?
It's yours.
Okay. Oh, this dynamic is going to be amazing. So, as I was saying, I am from the southern portion of New Jersey, right by the beach. I grew up here most of my life, and I met Kenny when we were in school. So, I think probably high school. I don't think I knew you in like when you first moved here. But moving on from that, um, yeah, I went to school with Kenny all through actually college too. Um, my life right now pretty much consists of science and music. It's pretty much my entire life. It's just those two things combined together somehow. Yeah, I work as a biologist and I love it. I also just love being engulfed in the music scene. So that's pretty much anything you need to know about me is summed up in those two categories. So the
Yeah,
end.
for those who don't know, music scene means AKA emo night.
That's
Hashtag.
not true. It's not just emo nights. It's a big part, but it's not. It's not. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later.
Anyway, so yeah, no, thanks again for coming on, Jamie. Yeah, actually it's weird. Like we have been friends for a while now. Like, it's funny, 10 years ago we went to Stockton get together. So who knew?
Yeah, it's actually kind of weird because I don't know. I don't know about you, but I think that we really started being friends in college because we didn't really talk that much in high school. I feel like
You were the geeky cheerleader and I was the cool popular
I feel like a geeky cheerleader doesn't fit, but that's fine. That's fine. That's a weird combo, but that's okay.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, Kenny was just way too cool for me, honestly. Just way too cool. I tell him that all the time, actually. I do say that.
Okay. All right. So to cover our first topic, you wanted to go over the misconstructed perception of animal mistreatment in the zoos. Now, when you brought this up, I was kind of curious. Like I've never heard like of a serious topic like this one. So care to explain like what's it about?
Yeah, I kind of want to throw a curveball your way, because I feel like this is something that it's only brought to people's attention when they are in the like setting for it. So a lot of people when they go to a zoo or sanctuaries and stuff, um, some people would start to think that all of like, oh, they're putting on shows or they're in these cages or these like small places and they're not being treated well when that kind of stuck in our society as a myth for many, many years. Back in the day, probably 50 plus years, animals weren't treated properly. But after being able to study more like behavioral aspects and being able to see what is important for the survival of species, zoos have really changed their mindset. And I actually spent a lot of time in grad school thinking about this. I studied behavioral aspects and enrichment. Um, if you don't know what enrichment is like pretty much what the word kind of makes you feel like, how
Mhm.
you can enrich the animals' lives. So, what aspects of enrichment, whether you are enriching their environment physically, their like their enclosure would look like, everything is placed strategically or put in there for a reason. Like if, for example, I work with jaguars and jaguars climb a lot of trees. They're super duper strong. They love swimming and stuff like that. So a lot of their enclosures at zoos will have that stuff specifically. So the goal is they're not going to stay in a zoo forever. They want to enrich and like make the animals learn how to survive and be able to be put out in the wild and be able to survive out there. So it was something that really always bothered me so much when people would be like, oh, you're working with a zoo, like they're just putting animals in cages and stuff like that. But it's so wrong, actually. If it's, I'm not going to say like all places, because if it's like an accredited place, yes. But if somebody like Uncle Sal in the middle of nowhere has like caught illegal cats and we're like, this is my zoo, like obviously that's not true. But
I love it how you said that because immediately I thought of Tiger King
I
and
can't stand it. I can't stand it, Kenny. I'm telling you, I cannot stand it when people talk to me about that. They're like, what about? I was like, I don't give a crap. I don't care about this Tiger King guy. I don't care. It makes me so mad. It boils my blood. But, and it's not just, I just talk about cats because I'm very passionate about cats, but it's with anything too. Like, honestly, um, I work with gibbons, which are, it's not a monkey, but people think they're monkeys. And they like instead of giving them just like a bowl of food, an enrichment thing that they have to do is they'll give them little like PVC pipes and put them in like little puzzle things. So they have to try and forage for their own food. Like if they were trying to reach into a tree or like grab things off of like a vine or something, they have to figure it out themselves. Because you are training the animals to do what they need to, like perform the skills and learn what they need to know so they can be released out in the wild and be able to fend for themselves. So I studied that for 2 years or so, and it was really awesome, but it always makes me so mad. And when you said, oh, we talk about a serious topic, I was like, this is it,
that's the
because
one.
I need to know my frustrations. But yeah, like if you ever see like if you ever see, I'm gonna go back to cats, or even like wolves, they do this too. They'll like freeze stuff in ice, or they'll put like those really big like rain barrels or those garbage cans. They'll put food inside there and like have the animals learn to like take it apart instead of getting food in a bowl, because then they'll get bored and just get angry. Because if you don't challenge them, like if you don't challenge the animals by like training them to do tricks or like learning the skills that they're supposed to know, they actually get aggressive and they get mad and like they don't know what to do with all the extra energy that they should be putting into skills that should be helping them survive. So that's why you see like if you see like a cat pacing like nonstop,
Hmm.
that's like not a good thing. They're not being enriched properly, because they should be hunting. They should be they like to put like scents around the exhibits too, and they'll have to like sniff out their food and like because it's like hidden for them, instead of making them do, here's a bowl, whatever. So I always get so mad when they talk about how zoos are not putting the animal first, which is like completely false, because at the end of the day, the tricks that you see, a lot of them when you see you go to if you go to like a zoo and you see like seals put on a show, a lot of the time those seals, the tricks that they're doing, it's actually helping them check their they'll check their teeth, like smile, they'll check their teeth and stuff, or if they lift up a fin or they lift up another fin, they're actually checking if the animal is okay, if there's any like scratches, bruises, marks, anything like that. And the crowd would be like, oh, this is a cool show, or like, oh, you're making the animals do stupid tricks, when the biologist is or slash vet is actually checking the animal. So
Oh, that's I didn't know that. That's pretty dope. Actually, it got me thinking. I don't even know when the last time I went to a zoo. It was probably either Six Flags or like some safari trip, or when I went to Disney. And
yeah,
um, but yeah, no, I hear
Disney
you.
actually is Disney's one of the top in animal conservation, actually. I know Disney has a bad rep, and like people love and hate Disney for different reasons, but in the world of conservation, they're one of the top in like funding and doing research and stuff. So I give them a lot of credit. Six Flags, though, should there be animals roaming around when people are driving through with cars? I don't think so. I don't think they do that anymore, but I remember watching like monkeys like ripping off like car antennas and stuff. And
Yeah.
that's, oh, my thing just turned off. Oh. So I just don't think that that is like a smart idea, but
Hmm.
whatever. That's just coming from me.
So
They
are you
don't do that
saying
anymore, I don't
so
think.
are you saying just break out the animals like Madagascar style? Like
No, no, no. I don't think that's a good idea either. I don't think that's a good idea, but I don't know. Well, there are technically, if you actually think about that, there are many animals that could like live together in an enclosure and like benefit from each other because there's a lot of symbiotic relationships out in the wild, meaning like they could help each other. Maybe one benefits and one's like just not phased whatsoever. You know what I mean? So they could help each other. You know what I mean? So
so kind of like I know this is fiction, but like kind of like what happened in Jurassic Park 2 or 3 or whatever, like where they were all the T-Rex was chilling next to like the 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 omnivore or the one with the long neck. So you're saying stuff
uh-huh.
like so you're saying they can like coexist like that.
Yeah, well, yes and no. I don't know any, I'm not a big dinosaur person, so I don't really know how that works, but if you put them in an area with a species that is not like normally on their radar for food, and you just make sure that you keep them enriched food wise, meaning
Hmm.
like you're providing them with the proper food that's going to help them survive, they won't go after the other animals unless like something's off. So, like if they're enriched, like they're not bored, they're getting the proper food, they have like everything that they need, even like the funny little toys that they get, that's all part of the enrichment. Like the little toys that are found in exhibits are used to teach outside skills. So,
Wow.
yeah, if they're not bored, it should be fine.
They're
But
good.
it's like
Okay.
a very weird balance though. Like it's a very fine line to see like what's okay and what's not. So most of the time, zoos and sanctuaries and stuff won't do that, just in case that line's crossed. It's more of like a moral thing. You know what I mean? Like people would be really upset. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm learning so much now. It's crazy.
I'm a big nerd about this stuff. Yeah. So
That's actually
half
that's
science,
actually
half music. It's my
I
life.
was gonna say yeah. All I hear you yap about is um uh I'll try to put this in a nice way. Like
Scientist by day, emo girl
yeah,
by
like
night.
I was gonna say like yeah, like
Emo girl.
all you do is just party like and go out to Philly or
I do. It's okay. All right. You don't even know what I do though. Like I don't just go out and go to these things all the time. I actually have a role. Like I actually have a place now. I don't just like go out and like I like spending time with my friends, but it's not like I'm like getting slammed every weekend. Like, yo, let's go and like
hmm
doing keg stands in the middle of a mosh pit. Like that's not how this works.
cake stands. Who does cake stands now these days? Why are you looking at me like that?
Okay, out of the two of us, who do you think would be the one that probably would do that right now?
You.
Okay. Turn that finger right around, sir.
Nah, yeah, actually, not gonna lie, yesterday was a nice day, so I did play like a little beer die. So that
Did you
was
do a keg stand?
no, there was no keg.
Mm,
There was no keg involved,
okay.
trust me.
You were drinking out of a red solo cup though.
Was I though?
Yes, you were. Oh, it wasn't a red solo cup. It was just a clear cup, I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry. It was still a plastic cup. It's all right. It's
Yeah.
just not a red solo cup. You've moved up in the tier. You moved up from college kid to I'm in grad school. I'm sophisticated. I drink out of a clear cup now.
Mm. Nah, it's funny because me and my classmates, my friends, we had a big presentation yesterday, and we knocked it out of the park. So it's also my
That's good.
friend. Yeah, it's also two of my friends their birthdays this weekend, so we had to like celebrate a little bit. Um,
That's a good celebration. Absolutely.
yeah, and then actually I
I feel
passed
like that
out.
calls for a keg stand, but
No, actually it's funny. I got back here around like 6 or 7. And I passed out until like 2 or 3 in the morning. So
geez
yeah,
Louise.
I can't hang anymore. I just can't.
I can't either. I get tired so easily. Honestly, the amount of times I have napped in the green room, like at those events, is uncalled for. Like it's a little outrageous. I don't know why I keep getting invited back sometimes, but it happens.
No, it's all good. But no, that's cool. I like it how you're very passionate about like the animals and all that. Like, so for me, like, I guess I'm very passionate about like, the environment, like, especially like the ocean, coastal side. But animals play a huge part in our world too. Because without them, we wouldn't exist either. I think I saw a stat where like if the population of the bee like just it was gone, we would literally not even have like months to live. So yeah, when you said Disney and all that, I was thinking like The Lion King, The Circle of
Oh,
Life,
it's a
like
circle of life.
because that personally is my favorite movie of all time. So as soon as you said that,
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, you know,
Yeah. Everything is
this,
interconnected somehow. There are definitely species that are valued like well, every species plays a role somehow, but there are some that have a heavier weight in the ecosystem. So, like bees, yeah, is definitely one of those ones that if there were no bees left, we would be in big trouble. So,
wait, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but let me
no,
ask
go
you
ahead. I don't have anything else to say. Go ahead, Kenny.
let me ask you a question though. So if it's kind of like an issue with the whole enrichment and all that and like zoos or whatever, what would you tell people if they want to help like further that, I guess, or help the animals in zoos or facilities?
Um, Honestly, I think that the enrichment is not the issue. It's more of like the community understanding or accepting that what society believes or like how animals have been treated in that environment in the past is not a thing anymore. Like people have a hard time adjusting to change and seeing the change happen in front of them. Because if you go back like 50 years or more than that, yes, animals were put in these like metal cages, like traveling around. They were like just kind of here's a bowl of food, like figure it out. But now that we've learned and understand animals more about what they need, how they need to hunt or forage for food if they're not like hunting another animal, like if they need to figure out how to get berries or like seeds and stuff like that, like how to get those things and being able to like hide from predators or again like hunting, those are all skills that need to be taught. And you don't always have the you don't have the lead like animals don't always have the skills around them or like the resources to do that. Like you might have a species, like I've had three cougars in a like mountain lions in an exhibit before that their mother died and was killed by a hunter and they were so young they couldn't learn from their mother how to hunt, how to like get away from predators, how to like do anything. So the enrichment program to help teach them. And then they all got really close, but a lot of time besides like lions, wild cats usually are like solitary. Like they don't after like a certain age they're by themselves. Like they don't stay in a pack. Only lions do that. So it was unique in that sense that we were able to have enrichment where they can learn to like work together, but also be able to survive by themselves. So really the issue I think is like lack of knowledge. And that's kind of on both ends. Like I think that the science community can definitely work on trying to spread information more and like making the community more educated in that sense because I'm really passionate about outreach and I think it's very important. But I also think that the community is just kind of set in their ways where everybody knows best, right? Like everyone thinks that they know everything. If they read a source someplace, they could read it like online, anything, right? So you hear like one thing that's misconstrued or like told in a certain way, and people are like, oh, that's bad when they don't really know all the facts. So, like Tiger King, forget it. That was like, everybody was like, the zoos are, this is awful. People are treating animals like that's not true. It's completely different,
No, I
completely
think
different.
I think the general, population knew that Tiger King was just very eccentric. But we were just in a
Yeah.
pandemic and we were just bored out of our minds, and that was the only thing that was hot topic at the time.
Yeah.
So
But you would be surprised. You would be surprised. A lot of people were going after, especially maybe not so much zoos, like, but those smaller sanctuaries that are still accredited or you have to jump through a lot of hoops to be accredited, like especially zoos, like getting accredited by the AZA, which is like a very big organization that's like you get funding from the government and stuff, and like it's a big deal. But like sanctuaries are a little bit different where you kind of go through that, but then you also have other hoops you have to go through. And it's more about like rescuing, rehabilitation, sending out like more low key, where it's not, people aren't supposed to be like visiting every day like a zoo. So people are going after those smaller sanctuaries instead of saying that they are the ones that are kind of like Tiger King and like questioning all their acts and stuff. But that's not really true. There's a lot of them that are very important in the species survival plans that are global. So
hmm,
the more you know.
look at you. Look at you. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you.
Big nerd. I can talk about this stuff forever.
And then what was your undergrad major? Weren't you studying this in undergrad or no? Or was it just biology?
So when I was in undergrad, I did biology, yes, but I really jumped more into this when I was in grad school. Like I had more of an opportunity to focus more on wildlife biology. Right now, I would say that I'm an environmental biologist because I work with wildlife most of the time, but I also work in like, I kind of wear all the hats of environmental biology. I work in water, a little bit of soils, which is not my favorite. Um, Botany, so like plants. I do a little bit of everything. I even work with like the permitting of it stuff too. So like kind of like the management side also. Um, but mostly wildlife is what I focus in on.
Hmm, gotcha. Wow, man, that's just funny because I just did business and I just you know chilled half the time.
Yeah,
Back
no,
at
I just play outside. I actually am
no,
going to be traveling very soon, so I have a lot of cool places I'll be going to for my job.
no,
So
that's
they
cool.
they pay us to travel, which is kind of cool. So I'm excited.
Where you gonna go first trip?
I don't know where the first trip is. I think I'll be in Pennsylvania a little bit. I can only tell you states though, because I can't tell you much about what's going on. But some of the places thrown out there were like Nevada, Nebraska, Canada, so different country. Um, like Upper New York State, actually right where Tori lives, so that's kind of cool. Texas, Wyoming, which I've always wanted to go there, because the wildlife is awesome. So
Hmm,
a little bit of everything.
nice. No, that's a good.
Carolinas a little bit too. So
Uh, the, sorry, I'm not a
you're
fan
like
of.
Carolinas.
I like South Carolina, not North Carolina, but that's just my 2 cents when I
All
was
right. What did
there.
North Carolina do to you, Kenny? What did it do?
Nothing. I was just stationed there for 2 years, and it was just not the best time.
I heard that North Carolina is very nice.
I mean, it is, but
No, you
I
just
mean,
got sick of
I
it.
I just got sick of it because I guess it's because I was stuck in a base for 2 years and I couldn't do much.
Mm.
And
Were you
yeah,
stuck there during COVID? Is that why?
no, I was in Spain when COVID
Oh yeah, you
broke
were in
out.
Spain. Of course.
Yeah,
I'm Kenny. I get stuck in Spain.
I couldn't leave the base. David, I had to work every day, but I couldn't do anything.
That's really sad, actually. I do feel really bad. Spain is, I would love to go to Spain.
Like before COVID, it was a good deployment, but afterwards, then it was just not fun.
What
Uh,
No.
but no, that's cool. I'm glad you got to travel, do what you love to do. Like that's pretty dope. And like I said before, yeah, I mean, I do like I'm not a cat person like you are. But I do love dogs are like my number one. I love dogs.
I'm
Like,
okay. I love wild cats. Would I? I'm not really like a cat, like domestic cat person. I don't dislike them, but I don't think I'm gonna go out of my way to have one. Like if I rescued one, I'd be okay with it. You know what I mean? I love big cats though. Well, there's only okay, wild cats because there's big cats and then there's small cats and it's a whole big thing. That's a whole different topic for the next time you bring me. So, I'll be coming back, right, Kenny?
that's
Oh,
to
his
be
face. If you could
that
see his face right now, he's just like, this
that
girl's
is
never, I'm gonna drop her.
it's to be determined. But we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, yeah. So I'm a dog person though. Like pet wise, I'm a dog person. Wolves are
I'm
really cool to work with also.
yeah, I
Wolves are
love
really funny.
wolves. Like I think myself as like tail honor sometimes,
Oh, really? Yeah, of course.
just during the summer.
What is that? What does he say? Loca? What is it? What does he say? What is the
Love.
Twilight quote?
You mean the quote? What are you talking about?
Yeah, what does he say? Hold on.
What?
It's like what up, Loca, or something.
I don't know.
Twilight.
I haven't seen Twilight in like years, so
Bella, where have you been, Loca? You have to start saying that. Channel your Taylor Lautner, your Jacob. Team
no.
Jacob then. So you were obviously Team Jacob. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I just well, yeah,
Have you
because
seen the Twilight movies?
yes,
Ken?
I have seen the Twilight movies. I
All of them?
yes, all of them,
Did you
admittedly.
cry?
No, I didn't
Oh,
cry.
okay.
I wasn't like a
He was really
fan.
defensive, everybody.
I wasn't a fangirl. I just watched it like
They're like kind of emotional.
and I just like Team Jacob because the dude was a
Mm-hmm.
stud. I mean,
Uh-huh.
he
The
didn't have
dude's a stud.
he wasn't
Did
he
you
was
like long hair, Jacob? Were you cool with that? Like, did you like it when he had really long hair?
hell no. When he got the haircut,
Oh, okay.
that's when he became badass. But
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I'm just saying I teamed up with Jacob. I mean, he got friend zoned so hard, but
He did.
if you think about it, he's not pale, scrawny, and like
I
emotionally
didn't think that
like
Edward was really scrawny as like you went along. Like he had like some definition, didn't he? I don't know.
no, no. Maybe now as the Batman, but not when he
The
was
Batman.
but not when he was a vampire in Twilight, Robert Pattinson.
Oh, I
Um,
love that.
but I'm just saying, like, I just could relate. I guess I could just relate with him more because dark. I get dark during the summer.
Because
Work
you're
out.
like part werewolf.
I'm not part werewolf.
Are you sure?
I'm
Are you trying to
positive.
tell us that? I feel like you're trying to tell us that right now.
No, I even know how we even got to
It's
this.
okay. We all know the secret. We'll keep it safe. Don't worry. We won't tell anybody else.
You're
Nobody else.
you're cracking me up, Jamie. I hate you. Um, but no, yeah. But yeah, I definitely would choose dogs over cats any day. That's just because in that movie, when I remember when I was young, there was this movie called Cat and Dogs. The dogs were the good guys and the cats were the bad guys. So that
Oh,
kind of
when
like
like it was like the cats like they could talk, right?
yeah, and they're trying to like take over the world or whatever. Like yeah. I
I feel like I very vaguely remember that movie.
ever since I saw that movie, I was just like, wow, cats are mean and
Cats are
dogs are
evil.
yeah, dogs are the shit. So
Kind
that's
of
why
like girls rule, boys drool. It's like dogs rule, cats drool.
I'm sure that's what you believe, your opinion.
That's
Go
pretty
for
much
it.
what you were saying.
No, I was just saying cats and dogs.
This is why boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider.
Oh my God. I never even heard of that. So
You've
you're
never heard of that? Oh, okay.
nope.
What is it? It's like, freak, now I don't remember it. Girls rule, boys drool, and then it's boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. Girls go to Mars to do something. I don't know what the fuck we do, but we go to Mars for oh my God, I just dropped a F bomb. I'm so sorry. Is that even allowed? You could just like beat
Wow.
me out. You
Wow.
just beat me out.
No,
Sorry, I'm
you're
mad.
good. You're good. This is an explicit show, so you're fine.
Okay.
Me
Well,
and
hopefully
Matt.
we went to freaking Mars to clean our language because holy crap, I'm so sorry. I'm just dropping F bombs left and right here.
No, you're good. Me and Matt dropped a couple, curse words, but like we're adults. It's fine. You're
Yeah,
good.
it's fine. We're chilling. Okay. I just want to make sure, you know.
Wait, I have to ask you something.
Oh God, here we go.
So I feel like you progressively like since high school, look, but like you glowed up a little bit. Do you what
I think so.
I had to ask you, do you think I glowed up too since high school or college, Stockton?
Okay, we're gonna come back to you saying that I glowed up because that's very interesting. I think that's funny that you said that. Number two, I didn't again, I don't really think that I talked to you in high school. So, but I feel like I guess I don't know. I feel like yes, because I feel like no offense, Kenny, I don't really know if I was like your biggest fan because I didn't really like talk to you, you know? So I think that you've like progressively gotten better. Because even when like in the beginning of Stockton, like we talked a little bit, but I didn't really like I was like, okay, like this is somebody I just went to high school with. I never talked to him. But then like you kind of grew on me and I just like started talking to you more. So I guess so. You're doing big things. You're working for the Giants sometimes. You're in grad school. You're doing all these
Military.
things. So
Yeah.
the military, yeah, you were stationed in Spain, stuck during COVID. So you're doing all these big things that I remember like having these conversations with you where I remember when you were debating on even enlisting. So and you were like on the fence about it and you didn't know what you wanted to do and stuff. And like now you had the confidence to just kind of like cannonball right into it. And now everything that comes your way, you're just kind of taking it left and right. You know what I mean? So Kenny back in the day always kind of like was a little bit more hesitant. That's how I feel. So you
Mm.
played the tough guy on the outside, but like on the inside, you like once you had a conversation, you could see like you're kind of like, I don't know, and like kind of unsure and stuff. I feel like you have more confidence and you just kind of and it's not like showy confidence, like I'm confident, but on the inside, I'm a little unsure. No offense, Kenny, you were kind of like that, but like that's not a bad thing. But now you start to like grow into it more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And I appreciate you saying
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, but yeah, I think we definitely both glowed up because I was super shy and I had no confidence whatsoever. And now I honestly don't give two craps. So who am
Oh,
I?
somebody cursed.
Hey, I said crap. That's not even that bad. And I already said that before I dropped the F bomb. I'm working on it.
Oh, JV. All right. All right. Well, so any final remarks or anything you want to leave before our time wraps up?
Uh, I had a wonderful time chatting with all of you, even though I was only talking to you. But now there's going to be other people listening to my voice. So hopefully you don't think I'm too big of a nerd and come out to an emo night. We'll have a
Hmm.
good time.
Oh my God.
Follow me on socials. I'm growing on TikTok.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, again, Jamie, thank you again for coming on. Appreciate you spending your time. Yeah, it's so funny. Like I've never pictured like us being like good friends 10 years
And
later.
now we're
Like,
besties.
okay,
We're going to
good,
drop that.
good friends.
Yeah, we have to think about what we're going to talk about the next time I'm on.
We'll see.
I love this.
All right, guys. Well, thank you again for tuning in. Try to tune in next week. Fresh new episode of the KG Flow. Go
AG
follow,
Flow.
Go follow, like,
Follow
subscribe, do what you gotta do.
Jamie
Uh,
Roselle.
all right. Until see you guys next time. Have a good weekend. Have a good day.
Don't
Bye.
tell me what to do.